Most people don't live their own lives. They live the life they think others expect from them. Every choice filtered. Every action analyzed. Every dream postponed until it feels acceptable. For many of us, the fear of judgment is louder than our own desires. And it quietly shapes everything: what we wear, what we say, what we try, and even who we think we are allowed to become. This wisdom story is about breaking free. About taking your life back from the invisible expectations that have controlled you for years. About finally learning the art of being yourself. And to understand this journey, let me tell you a story about a young man named Ariv. A story that might feel uncomfortably familiar. Ariv was the kind of person who cared deeply. He cared about people, about relationships, about doing things well. But more than anything, he cared about what others thought of him. He wasn't born this way. But growing up, he learned that approval was a form of safety. Every compliment felt like acceptance. Every criticism felt like rejection. As he entered adulthood, this habit grew into a quiet prison. When he dressed, he chose what he believed others would approve of. When he spoke, he rehearsed every sentence in his mind. When he created something, he hid it before anyone could judge it. When opportunities came, he stepped back, allowing others to move ahead. People saw him as quiet, calm, humble. But inside, he was exhausted. Every decision felt heavier than it should be. Every thought passed through a filter. Will they like this? Will they judge me? Will I embarrass myself? He didn't realize it. But his life was no longer his. It belonged to strangers whose opinions he only imagined. The turning point came on an ordinary afternoon. Ariv had been working on a project in private for months. A creative idea he loved deeply. He wanted to submit it to a public contest. He knew it was good. He felt proud when he made it. But when the moment came to finally share it, one thought echoed inside him. What if people laugh at this? That single question was enough to freeze him. His hands trembled. His heart raced. His mind began listing every possible negative outcome. Every potential embarrassment. He stared at the submission button for almost an hour. And then, he walked away. Not because he didn't want it. Not because his work wasn't ready. But because he couldn't bear the thought of being judged. That night, he realized something frightening. He wasn't avoiding judgment. He was avoiding life. In the days that followed, Ariv kept thinking about the moment he walked away. He expected the world to judge him. But the world wasn't even watching. He expected people to talk about him. But nobody knew. He expected to be embarrassed. But there was nothing to be embarrassed about. He hadn't even tried. And that's when a quiet, painful truth took shape. The opinions he feared were not real. They existed only in his mind. He started asking himself questions he had never considered before. Why does the idea of judgment feel so big? Who am I trying to impress? What am I actually afraid of? Why do imagined opinions feel heavier than my own dreams? Slowly he realized something powerful. The people we fear the most rarely think about us at all. Everyone is too busy worrying about their own lives. Their own problems. Their own insecurities. Their own regrets. People are not watching our every move. They are trying to survive their own struggles. The fear we carry is built from imagination, not reality. Ariv began to understand that the real battle was not with people, but with the voice in his own mind. So he made a quiet promise to himself. I will no longer let imagined judgment decide my life. From that day, he started making small changes. Not dramatic. Not sudden. Just gentle steps toward freedom. He allowed himself to try things. Without asking for permission in his mind. He allowed himself to express ideas. Without rehearsing them 1,000 times. He allowed himself to be imperfect. Without apologizing for it. He began choosing clothes he liked. Food he liked. Work he liked. Not what felt safe. He started saying yes to opportunities. Before fear could say no. And each time he acted without overthinking. Something incredible happened. Nothing bad occurred. Nobody laughed. Nobody judged. The world kept moving. Life kept going. And he felt lighter. He realized the thing he feared the most had never been real. The more Arif practiced living for himself, the more confident he became. Not loud confidence. Not showy confidence. A quiet confidence. A grounded kind. The kind that comes when you trust yourself more than you fear others. He learned 3 life-changing truths. 1. People judge less than we think. Most people are too busy fixing their own insecurities to focus on ours. 2. Judgment loses power when you stop giving it meaning. What hurts us is not the opinion itself, but the importance we attach to it. 3. You cannot control how others see you, but you can control how you see yourself. When he embraced these truths, the pressure in his chest disappeared. The fear lost its grip. The world became bigger, lighter, more open. And something beautiful happened. He submitted his work. He shared his ideas freely. He stopped hiding his creativity. He took risks he had avoided for years. Not because he was fearless, but because he finally understood that fear didn't deserve control. Arif didn't become perfect. He didn't stop feeling self-conscious forever. But he learned how to choose himself over the invisible crowd in his head. He learned that life only expands when you stop shrinking for others. He learned that you cannot grow while trying to fit into everyone's expectations. And most importantly, he learned that the most important opinion is the one you hold of yourself. If you are living for the approval of others, you are not truly living. The opinions you fear are not real. The judgment you imagine is only an echo. And the life you dream of is waiting for you beyond that fear. The moment you stop caring about what people think is the moment you begin to live with freedom, clarity, and peace. Choose yourself. Your life belongs to you. For more wisdom stories in English, stay with us on this journey.